We're approaching the end of the 2013 session. How are things going and what can we expect in the remaining 2 weeks?
We're right now discussing the budget, and there are three different budgets that we're looking at. We have the capital budget, which deals with anything to do with construction of buildings. The other is an operating budget, and then the third is a transportation budget. Probably the most controversial at the moment is the operating budget and then the transportation budget.
Some interesting progress has been made on the operating budget. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I can't really discuss the operating budget at the moment. That's still being discussed. I know that the Senate brought out their operating budget, and they have recommended a budget with no new tax increases. The House Democrats may be bringing out a budget that would include $1.3 billion in new spending, which then would translate to tax increases. And the worry about that is that could potentially, I've heard one estimate, cost families about $1,000 more per year of those families who pay taxes. So that's fairly worrisome.
And what's going on with the transportation budget?
That's very much of a topic of discussion right now. The Columbia River Crossings, which is the bridge between Vancouver and Portland, is currently a project that's being discussed. If that project does not stay in the budget, that will allow, I believe, more money for projects in my district, which include Highway 167, money for the 509, and possibly money for completing our Triangle project. And the Triangle project is a big overpass over by the Costco, I-5, Highway 18, and 167. And the reason that's important is half of that project is completed. We still need another $100 million to complete that, the second part of the overpass.
Your bill to help victims of human trafficking is moving forward. What is the next step for it?
We have two bills that we're currently tracking that actually made it to the floor. The one bill that I co-sponsored with Representative Tina Orwell has to do with setting up a victims assistance fund for those young women, as young as 14, who are trafficked and difficult to get out of that life. They need a place to go and they need help finding jobs, education, a place for their family to live. And so this Victims Assistance Fund would allow money for that. That right now that bill is coming back to the House. Once it's approved, it will be signed. And then hopefully we'll be able to move forward with Oversight Committee.
You're also working on DUI legislation to address a serious problem in our community. What specific legislation are you working on?
Many people are aware of the family that was killed, two members of the family that were killed in the North Seattle area. Two other members of the family are in serious condition at Harborview. What we're trying to do is strengthen the DUI laws. My part is to include in this bill, the bill itself says that all illegal substances will be included in strengthening the law. Since marijuana is now a legal substance, we needed to submit another bill that would define the fact that a legal substance such as marijuana and the use of prescription medications would also be included, since people should not be driving while they're taking those as well.
What are your plans for after session ends?
After session, we'll be opening in district office. It'll be at 9th and 336 South. And what I'm going to be working on is creating an IPZ zone, Innovation Partnership Zone. One possible idea is to work on attracting more medical-related companies that would cluster around St. Francis Hospital. St. Francis is one of the 100 best hospitals in the nation. There are 15 IPZs in the state, and what this does is allows for any businesses in this zone that are newly created then would not have to pay business and occupation tax to the state. I've talked with the CEO of St. Francis. I've talked with the CEO of Children's Hospital, and both of them are very interested in this. And the CEO of Children's Hospital told me he may be starting a satellite in the Federal area, which would be extremely beneficial for our citizens.